Good evening. This is Mordechai Kotkis from Jerusalem. Yesterday was the Holy Shabbat, the Holy Sabbath, and we do not listen to the news. So just today we heard about the shocking news from Norway that a madman murdered over 90 people, most of them youngsters. And any person with a human heart should be shocked. How could this happen? What can we learn from this? Of course we're sad about the loss, but what is this teaching us about mankind, about society, about history? So we know that the numerical value, we know that God is called Shalom. God is called Shalom. He's called Shlomo, the King of Peace. So this means there could be no peace without God. Oslo is known as a city of peace. Many peace treaties have been signed at Oslo. But it seems that in Oslo, many people have forgotten that there's a God, and he expects a certain type of behavior from human beings. The Ten Commandments, foundations of law. The first tablet, it says, Anochi Hashem, I am the Lord your God. The second one begins, Lo Sirtzach, do not commit murder. Abortion is murder. Abortion is practiced in Norway. It is perfectly legal. Any woman who wants can perform an abortion. Same-sex marriages are legal and sanctioned in Norway. It seems that in Norway, pleasure and lust are very important. It doesn't matter what the Bible says about marriage and relationships and love. As long as someone wants to fulfill his lust, whether it's a member of the same sex or a different sex, if there's an embryo, we can just murder him and get him out of the way. So with this type of lifestyle, what do you expect? The prophet Yechezkel tells us that Anoafim Damileu, the adulterers, their hands are full of blood. And our Bible tells us in Genesis that one who commits murder should be murdered. Shofech dam ha'adam ba'adam, don't be shofech. One who murders a human being who's inside another, an embryo. There's an allusion to an embryo. One who commits an abortion should be killed. Abortion is not legal according to the Old Testament. So in Norway, they're trying to have peace without God. God equals peace. Peace, real peace equals God. Without God, there is no real peace. Without Anochi, without I am the Lord your God, there can only be Lo Sirtzach, do not commit murder. Otherwise, there will be murder. Our rabbis tell us anyone who has mercy on the cruel will eventually be cruel on the merciful ones, on the ones we should have mercy on. In Norway, they're very merciful when it comes to the cruel murderers. One who commits murder will receive a maximum prison sentence of 21 years in Norway, in luxurious conditions compared to some other jails in the world. What happened to forced labor? What happened to the dungeons of some other countries? In Norway, jail is very pleasant, it's very nice, it's very comfortable. Of course, he can't leave, but it's 21 years maximum, could be less. Maybe at a few years he's available for parole. Not much of a deterrent. So when people have mercy on the cruel ones, then the merciful ones, honest people, suffer from this. So of course we're shocked, but what can you do? It's only expected. When people try to do away with God, and do away with his teachings, what can you expect? The only way to save our society, save mankind, is to return to God. The true God. The God we all believe in, who created the heavens and earth, who gave us the Old Testament, who appeared before 600,000 men and 600,000 women and their children at Mount Sinai. Judaism is the only religion that claims that God appeared before so many people. Because you can't bluff it. You cannot tell people you saw something if it didn't happen. All other religions, without any exception, say, there was one man called J.C., there was one man called Muhammad, there was one man called Buddha. They all made up these fantastic stories, and they even got others, even millions of people, to believe them. They were good at convincing people about what happened to them, namely J.C., Muhammad, Buddha, and others. It's not that difficult, but it's very difficult to convince people about something that happened to those people if it never happened. So there was a revelation at Sinai because Judaism says that we were there, our ancestors were there. And we know that because our ancestors do not lie to us. They do not tell us not to work about a quarter of our lives, including every seventh day, not to do any work in the field, anything related to agriculture during the seventh sabbatical year, plus many holidays. So about a quarter of our lives we cannot work. Which father, which mother would tell his kids that? Only someone who experienced God himself and knew that was true. There's a message for all mankind. Return to Adam. Return to Noah, who was given the 7 Noahide laws. Respect human beings. Respect their property. Respect their wives. Be kind and nice to each other. All these come under the heading of the 7 mitzvos, 7 Noahide laws. When will mankind return to God? When will mankind realize that there is no peace without God? God equals peace, and peace equals God. Without God, there is no peace, period.